Oh, the beginning of the end. Literally, this is all coming crashing down. And even the young Turks, Cenk Uygur knows that it is really bad right now. We know Anna Kasparian already walked away from the left. We know that she possibly secretly will be voting for Donald J. Trump. Just my opinion, but I believe that's a fact. But we got to listen to the young Turks, Cenk Uygur, melt down about Harris's triples down on an awful strike. The title of this video, as you can see to my top left here, Harris triples down on awful strategy. Oh, it's bad. They had a better chance, they believe, with Joe Biden. But yet they went all in on Kamala, and it is all backfiring crazy. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Awful polling, awful strategy, awful everything for the Democrats. Somebody told me to say that. Democrats. Make sure to smash the like button if you guys can. Smash the like button right now. Also, let me know where you guys are watching from. Let's all come together right before this election, because I can't wait for this election, by the way. So let's start it off. The Young Turks running wild once again, and let's start it off.
Not only will I have a Republican in my cabinet, but part of what I intend to do, Mayor, and put some structure around is creating a bipartisan council of advisors.
Last Friday, Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris laid out her plans for a bipartisan group of advisors as she leans further and further into this alliance with neocons. Now, we're going to show you more of that video in just a moment, but first, let's actually rewind a little bit to what happened last week when Harris stated that one of the things that she plans to do differently than Joe Biden is have a Republican in her cabinet.
If anything, would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind. Listen, I plan on having a Republican in my cabinet. You asked me. I got a list. Yes, right. You asked me what's the difference.
All right, before we continue this video, what Republican is she planning on having on her cabinet, right? Because this is the weirdest part about these fake Republicans. Today's neocon establishment Republicans, the rhinos. Is that who she's talking about? Who's she talking about?
Difference between Joe Biden and me, well, that will be one of the differences. I'm going to have a Republican in my cabinet because I don't feel burdened by letting pride get in the way of a good idea.
So that clip became infamous with the Trump campaign exploiting it for their own purposes, obviously. So here's an example. There's the Trump War Room X account. They posted that video with the statement that Kamala Harris made, basically saying that she wouldn't do anything differently from Biden. Now, Harris has also played up endorsements from the likes of Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney. Here's how she reacted when they first endorsed her.
Dick Cheney have endorsed you. What do you think?
I'm honored to have their endorsement, and I think that what they both, as leaders who are well respected, are making an important statement that it's okay and it's not important to put country above party.
Okay, so you all have the context and the backstory to it. So with all of this in mind, let's go back to her latest idea of having a bipartisan group of advisors within the White House if she gets elected. Take a look.
And I have decided also, not only will I have a Republican in my cabinet, but I'm also going to, I was talking to my team about it, I want to create some structure around the following, which is, I love good ideas. Wherever they come from, I love good ideas. Right? And so part of what I intend to do, Mayor, and put some structure around is creating a bipartisan council of advisors who can then give feedback on policy as we go forward. Because here's the thing I also understand and feel strongly about. In order for us as America to maintain our status as the strongest democracy in the world, we need a healthy two-party system. We have to have a healthy two-party system. We have to. It's in the best interest of all of us.
Our only hope is that Trump just gives up. Like,
oh, this guy is done. Hey, yo, he's shaking his head. He can't believe it. Yo, this guy is sick. He's sick. Oh, he's done. Oh my, he's just shaking his head.
our only hope is that Trump just gives up. Like, and I don't mean like.
Well, we know Trump's not going to give up. So you're throwing in the towel, aren't you? You're giving up.
Literally, of course he's not going to do that, but he's kind of de facto doing it, where he just melts, right? And he just is so unelectable that she wins, because this is hopeless.
No, that's not going to happen. Now you know that. This is hopeless. Yes, that's the real thought that you have in your head.
And he just is so unelectable that she wins, because this is hopeless. What is this? We're going back to the 1990s. I love Republicans. I love bipartisanship. Republicans have such good ideas. Might that encourage people to vote for them instead of you? And what Republicans are you talking about? See, they don't understand modern day politics at all. They're still, we're going to get the John McCain Republicans, the Dick Cheney, Mitch McConnell Republicans. No, those are corporate Republicans.
Exactly, perfect.
And those voters don't exist. So you think that because your donors are all corporate Republicans and corporate Democrats, that there's this giant subsection of the country that are like, oh my God, if she would just work with corporate Republicans to help big business, we'd vote for her. No, the undecideds are barely follow politics. They're not John McCain fans or Dick Cheney fans. They want you to help them. You need to be a populist to do that. So running towards these corporate Republicans is a disastrous strategy. It gives your opponent a rhetorical marketing advantage, because you're saying the other part.
It's crazy that she thinks that running to Liz Cheney, Mitch McConnell, and all these rhino Republicans is the winning strategy to win over Republicans. Guys, we don't even like these people. We think these people are actually the worst type of people, and the reason why we're in the dilemma that we're in this country is because of rhino Republicans. And yet she's running to them, and Cenk is like, oh, this is the worst. It's over. This guy is like, it's all hopeless. Like, listen to his tone, his messaging. I mean, we already know where Anna Kasparian stands on this, but it's always hilarious watching this guy melt down.
Party is good. It picks up no votes at all, and it leads you in the wrong direction, where you're seen as more pro-war and pro-business, when you need to be more populist and telling those undecided voters, hey, I'm going to deliver for you. I'm going to get you something, not I'm going to get Dick Cheney something. This is the worst strategy in the world. And I know for Democrats, they think, no. If you have the worst strategy in the world, don't tell anyone. Just compliment her on the strategy, but then she won't be able to turn around. And it's not like she hasn't turned around. She turned around earlier in this campaign. She was doing a brilliant job in the beginning on populist economic messaging. And she turned around to this terrible message. I'm hoping she'll turn around again and go to a correct strategy in the last 3 weeks. But you can't get it through their consultant heads, all those stupid Democratic consultants destroying this party in this country.
Now, all right, I'm just gonna hold back and just move on to The View.
No, don't hold back, Anna. Don't hold back. Please let us know how you feel. We love you. I'm a fan.
Because they disagree with you, Cenk. They think that Kamala Harris has been running a perfect campaign.
Oh, they're so stupid.
So let's start with Sunny Hostin, who insisted that Harris's strategy was flawless because of the amount of money she has raised. Like, that is the main indicator of a successful campaign.
Yeah, the donors.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's genius.
I think that Kamala Harris has been running a flawless campaign, and that's why she raised billions of dollars, $1 billion. I think it's because of the momentum that she has. I think it's because people believe in her, and I think people are showing that by the amount of money that they're willing to give to the campaign. I think we have the press to blame for a lot of this. About, Whoopi, you always say you don't believe in polls. I'm with you now, because I'm reading the press First it was, Kamala's not doing enough press. Then she goes on this huge press tour. What I would like the press to talk a little bit more about is Trump is in hiding. He didn't do the 60 Minutes interview. He does not want to do another debate. He's in mental decline. Obama's speech was captivating in Pittsburgh, yet instead of talking about that, we're talking about what he said before the speech to black men.
Donald Trump has increased his support among black.
You know, we're winning when you have like Cenk Uygur and Anna Kasparian literally, like, look at her face after Sonny Halston finished speaking. This is defeat, ladies and gentlemen. This is what winning looks like. Like, this is how you know that we're actually right and the view is actually always wrong.
Donald Trump has increased his support among black voters. Why do you think that is? Anyway, I am gonna go back to it. Even if, let's say, best case scenario for Kamala Harris, cozying up with neocons like Dick Cheney works out for her and gets her across the finish line. I need Democratic voters to please just explain to me, why is it that you guys really want the Democrat to win? If the Democrat is willing to open her administration up to neocons who do not possess the same values as us, right? If the Democratic Party becomes the new party of neocons, why do we care so much about getting the Democrat elected?
No, they have one.
I just need to understand. I need to understand because guys, okay, I don't care about the party's label. I care about what the party is going to do to make our lives better. And if the signaling right now is we're gonna be like the Bush era Republicans, what is the point?
Yeah, so look, there is no point left to these corporate Democrats. The only point is survival. So you know what I think. I think Trump is a deranged wannabe dictator. So, and he proves it every day.
Oh my God. You guys know what I think. I've been wrong. I'm still gonna vote for Kamala, even though everything that Anna said I agree with. Donald Trump is still a wannabe dictator. Oh my God. Cenk, you're the reason why this country is where it's at right now. It's your fault. It's you to blame. It's people like you that aren't willing to just go outside of their box and say, F it, I'm gonna vote for Trump because I think that my party has gone so far left to the point where they're now the new right from 2003, 2004. This is your fault. Everything you've said and everything that you just literally spoke about being hopeless about Kamala and the fact that she's like in bed now with the neocons, figuratively speaking. I don't know if she's actually in bed with anybody. That's none of my business, but you guys get where I'm going with this. This is your fault, bro. Right? Like this is your fault. The reason why you feel the way you feel is because your ego does not let you accept reality. It's that Trump is the best choice for the United States of America because of the people he's aligned with. He's aligned with Democrats that still think like old school Democrats and not this new crazy Democratic party. So it's your fault. Look at you. You're desperate. You're so desperate to keep your audience and not try something new. Maybe we'd start watching you if you just stop this bullshit. And but what bullshit am I talking about? This
left to these corporate Democrats. The only point is survival. So you know,
somebody get this guy a MAGA hat.
You know what I think. I think Trump is a deranged wannabe dictator. So, and he proves it every day. Just played you the clip of him saying the military should take care of the enemy from within. So we have a deranged dictator versus a hopeless corporate politician. So, I mean, look, on The View, full-blown conspiracy theory, lunatic, QAnon, blue MAGA, whatever you want to call them. Kamala Harris has run a flawless campaign. A flawless campaign. Amazing. And by the way, they were saying the same thing about Joe Biden as his brain was falling out of his ear. Okay, and the press is too mean to Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is perfect, but the press, they like Trump too much and they're too mean to Kamala Harris. Look, I think that to some degree, some parts of the press sane wash Donald Trump, a new term that I love, and it's true. and I think he's a lunatic, and they just treat him as if he has strategy and is a normal person. But thinking that they're too mean to Kamala Harris, that's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I mean, all right.
It's like you want to agree with this guy, right? He's saying things that are true, and then he just goes all the way far left again.
All right. So let's go to Sarah Haynes and Elisa Farah Griffin, who rightfully bring up the fact that Harris does need to do a better job differentiating herself from Joe Biden, which ends up drawing some negative attention from another lady on The View, Whoopi Goldberg. Let's take a look.
I'm going to push back a little on Sunny's comment that it's a flawless campaign. And this is why I'll say this. I am voting for Kamala Harris because we talked about this last week, all the whys. But I think the criticism of people who it's not resonating with, she went on a media blitz and it was mostly friendly interviews. There was some questions, but she didn't seem prepared. The question you asked her got a ton of press about how would you change yourself? If this is an election of change, she needs to.
What would your administration do differently than a Biden administration?
But and she said not one thing comes to mind. And she's headed into a media blitz. So these are the questions you're going to get. And so what I'm confused about is either she wasn't prepared, which I don't think so, because I think she over prepares, or she doesn't have a difference to sell.
Whether you guys love Joe Biden or not, the public was turning on his policies. That was why there was the whole.
No, the public wasn't turning on his policies. They were turning on the fake news of him being too old to do the job.
But the reality is the majority of voters didn't want Joe Biden back.
Did Whoopi Goldberg watch the debate? Did she watch the debate?
Well,
oh man, I love Anna, dog. I really do.
Just the bare minimum.
If she did, she's probably thrilled that we defeated Medicare. Oh my God. Okay, look, it's just an alternate reality.
It's a cult, Cenk.
It's totally a cult. I totally agree.
It's a cult.
And so
it's a cult. Wow, guys, what is happening? We got Anna Kasparian, former member of that exact cult, calling them a cult. Lightning is about to strike somewhere, at some point.
Okay, look, it's just an alternate reality.
It's a cult, Cenk.
It's totally a cult. I totally agree.
It's a cult.
And so, look, we're the only ones saying, I'm sorry, guys, but you got cults on both sides. So, like the Trump people are like, no, of course you should use the military against the American people and terminate the Constitution. And we're love the Constitution and we're pro.
Oh, who said that? Like, who feels that? What is he talking about right now? That we should use the military against our own people? Like, why are you saying it that way? You're framing this like, why does he keep going back to this?
America, are you? No, you sound like you're a cult who's obsessed with your dear leader. And then you go over to The View, and they're in equal crazy land, where Kamala Harris is flawless, the press is too mean to corporate Democrats. The polls are all not true, but Whoopi also went on a giant tirade against polls. Yeah. Whenever you're losing, all of a sudden the polls aren't true.
Polls bad.
Yeah, when Kamala Harris was winning, they were a Boolean. Why were you so cheerful when Kamala Harris was winning in the polls? I thought you didn't believe in the polls. Now all of a sudden, by the way, note this for the record. Once Democrats start losing, and it's now happening, it's begun, okay? They will say they don't believe in polls, and the problem is that the American people are too racist and sexist.
Of course.
Okay, Joy Reid already started, and it's going to keep for the next 21 days. You all will be accused.
Wow.
Of a lot of racism and sexism.
Wow. Cenk, you got so much potential, bro. You really do. This guy has potential to be like the biggest. Like he gets it. And then he goes back to being himself again. But wow.
And the problem is that the American people are too racist and sexist.
Of course.
Okay, Joy Reid already started, and it's going to keep for the next 21 days. You all will be accused of a lot of racism and sexism. Okay,
I think
God forbid Democrats should ever deliver for you. It's your fault for being racist and sexist and not appreciating the squat that they got you and that they promised you.
I think shaming the electorate is a good strategy. Let's see how that works out.
Yeah, but that comment by Whoopi there that we showed you was the cherry on top. That it's fake news. That anything that criticizes Kamala Harris or Joe Biden is fake news.
Yeah.
That Joe Biden did poorly in the debate was fake news.
No, that
he's old
is fake news.
Is fake news. He's in his 80s.
She said that. She said that on national television, daytime TV. Whoopi Goldberg said it's fake news that Biden is too old.
No, good. You know what? I mean, you guys keep humiliating yourselves on national TV. I love it, okay? So now you know, you watch The View, you watch Morning Joe, you're watching zombie shows. Hey, cult members, come here. Joe Biden's 30. He's so terrific.
Wow.
Kamala Harris has said everything perfectly. Okay, but now it's so sad that you become Fox News. Maybe you might even be outdoing them. That's just so pathetic.
Wow.
Anyway, I mean, and this is the kind of coverage that leads the Democratic ticket in a terrible direction, in a direction that is more likely to lose. And so hopefully the Harris team realizes they've been headed in a bad direction, and hopefully they change course, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Wow. Isn't this crazy? I think it's crazy, to be honest. Covering politics for some time now, I think it's pretty crazy to hear this coming out from the Young Turks, coming out from Anna and Cenk. I'm pretty sure their audience is having a field day with them. I'm pretty sure if you go to the comments, their audience starting to turn on them, which is not always a good feeling, but I think is a good result of common sense. And I think it happens, when you start to notice these things and call these things out. Let me know what you guys think overall about this. The title of this video from the Young Turks was Harris triples down on awful strategy. So they're calling their own party out. They're calling their own party cult members, which is crazy to see right before an election. That's how you know it's real, because usually everybody that's Democrat or everybody from the other side to the other side is usually running cover for their party and not trying to be as truthful because they want to win. But I don't think these people care about winning anymore. I think they're going to common sense and they don't mind telling the truth, even if it hurts their party, because they believe their party's already hurt. So free fries 2024, free McDonald's 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think. Boy, oh boy, do we got a lot going on this week. I'll see you guys tomorrow.